Hello, everybody. Welcome to Hanging with the Hooligans. My name is Doug, and we have Alex. We have Chud.
Chuck.
There it is. And James. And as you can see, we're off to a fantastic start right now.
That just ruined my reputation on this
There
show.
you go.
They're like, you guys got Chud there.
We got Chud.
I see the t-shirts already.
We got Chud, also known as Chuck.
They're like, there we go. That's the guy who just hates women.
Oh, God.
Oh, this is the episode where Doug's on drugs.
What? No, who would say that? Oh, I did.
All right.
Well, so yeah, James, you bring out a tome of notes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's like a textbook out in front of us right now.
This might be the first time we've ever prepared for an actual podcast.
Beyond like a line or so of stuff. James wrote down like what looks like it could possibly be an essay. I think it could just be notes.
Yeah, I got 5.5 pages of bulleted notes here for this.
Yeah, you make me feel really self-conscious about my bullet points.
And you can tell from all the notes that I wrote that this is a super serious topic where I'll have to be incredibly sensitive on.
Absolutely. That's why I'm here on Shrooms.
Yes.
So James, tell us today, what will we be taking a dive into the deep lore of?
So we're going to be talking about kids' TV shows
Nice.
and how they are a terrible, terrible place. Every single one of them.
Oh, actually,
So, you guys probably not, besides like Adventure Time, anybody here watch any kids shows?
Ed, and Eddie like a long time ago.
Okay, so that was pretty
Really,
good.
I was like, those
Yeah.
are kids shows, like I thought you meant like Paw Patrol, those kind of
Yes, I'm talking about legit, actual kids shows here, not like the stuff on Cartoon Network that you can watch when you're high and it's just fine.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, actual. This show is for children.
Well, you had me on Bluey for a while, and I actually watched a few episodes. I think like 4 or 5 episodes. I was like, "This is amazing shit, dude."
Oh, Bluey's the best.
Yeah.
Like, I watched that without my kids.
See, I was getting defensive because you said Adventure Time. I was like, this is
No, Adventure Time. So every show that I'm going to talk about today is not going to be like Adventure Time, where it's absurd for the sake of absurdity. Like they wrote it like that.
Yeah.
So what is it, like regular show, Adventure Time, stuff like
Yeah,
that, where it's
stuff-
like,
It was supposed to. It's like catered to adults, but like not bad enough to where kids can't watch it.
exactly.
You're talking about something made for children.
Like legit, this
Yeah.
is only for kids.
Some Blue's Clues shit.
So what is the first where you starting us with?
So if anyone's listened to us this far, you probably really like trains. So I'm going to start. Thomas the Tank Engine. Okay, we're going back. Island of Sodor. This has been around for a while. George Carlin narrated it for a while. It's got some lore. It has got a ton of trains in there, a lot of lore. But man, is this island fucked up. So I'm just going to get my notes up here ready here. So, I mean, we're just going to get the obvious out of the way. It is an island controlled by a single capitalist monopoly from Sir Topham Hatt or the Fat Controller, depending on if you're going through the UK version or the US version.
Huh.
Either way, he literally controls everything on that island. And it is an island, so there's no escape from there unless you're on his transportation that he owns.
Is he orange by any chance?
No, he's just a big
Oh.
fat dude in a top hat.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it must be it's the classic. UK
He's the
capitalist.
Monopoly guy.
Yeah,
And since it's an island, it could very well be the UK.
it's not implied, but there's a lot of references that it just might be. So, we get into there. I mean, obvious out of the way. It is a monopolistic society there. But, okay, so every single vehicle in this show is sentient to a point.
Mm-hmm.
From the rail cars to the trains, the planes, the trucks, every single thing is a living being.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do we got here? And in the show, I mean, your main characters, and everyone's kind of like a generic take on something. I mean, you got Thomas, he's your standard little main character dude. Henry, he's vain, he's kind of an ass. James, he's an egotistical jerk in the show and here, But they are all different. They have personalities in here. They are shown to have their own way of life and how they want to do things, right?
Yep. Wants, needs, whatever.
Yes. So they have feelings. It is shown in there they have feelings. It's all slave labor.
Oh.
Because they're
sentient beings. Their vehicles, they are literally trapped on the lines that Topham Hatt provides, and they have to work.
Oh, shit.
Otherwise, and we'll get into this in a second, but Topham Hatt ain't afraid to fuck around if you're, like, out of line right there.
Before we dive in, you mentioned those two characters. What vehicles are those?
Okay, so Thomas, Henry, James, they're all kind of like the main characters of the locomotives.
Okay.
They're all the original tank engines. And then as you go through the series, I mean, you get diesels, you get 4-in-1s. They have some crazy Indian train that's all, like, drooped up like they do on their trucks and everything.
Huh.
It's actually, all in all, they're pretty diverse on there for trains, right? But, I mean, even the rail cars have personalities on this. So literally anything that is somewhat of a vehicle is alive, right?
Wait, so you're saying the thing they connect to Thomas the Tank Engine is also alive?
Yes. So he's got the
That's
troublesome
insane.
trucks, which have their own personalities in their name. He's got his rail cars. I want to say it's Henrietta and something or another. I didn't write
What
notes
the
down
fuck?
on
It
that.
feels like the Human Centipede a little bit.
Yeah.
It gets down to a little bit. Like, I mean, they have
It's like
everything in
Avatar.
there.
Dude.
They like connect Thomas and somebody, and they're like, oh.
I have come.
Well, yeah, and then like even knowing how trains are connected, I'm just sitting there going like, holy shit.
Yeah, they
Ew.
just slam those guys in the
What
back
the
Thomas's
fuck?
ass right there.
Jeez.
And then somebody has to be the caboose too.
Right? Well, I mean, there's brake cars too, and they're assholes the whole thing. Most of these people are severely unhappy in this show.
Oh.
So, I mean, it's slave labor. Like,
Well,
there's consequences if you don't work. Like, legit consequences, all right? So, I wrote the note down here. Henry refused to get out of a tunnel because it was raining. He just got a new paint job. He didn't want to get dirty. You know, he's kind of vain. He's kind of an ass. So, he didn't want to leave the tunnel. What does Topham Hatt do? Bricks him up in the tunnel for an indeterminate amount of time. It is implied that it is at least months that he is literally bricked up into this tunnel.
I wish you could see our faces.
Wait. You said bricked up or broken up?
Bricked. He
What?
literally
That's even worse.
He
Fucking-
seals the tunnel.
cask of Amontillado on this motherfucker right there and leaves him in the dark in a tunnel that he completely sealed off because he didn't want to get wet and wanted to wait for the rain to stop.
I see you not wanting to work.
Yeah, so I mean,
What the fuck?
yeah, isn't that fucked up? I mean, this is a sentient train. It has feelings. I mean, it must not need to eat or anything, but it's still...
But still, you're like, okay.
Yeah, it is indeterminate amount of time, but it's like episodes later when he finally unbricks him and shit.
What?
So it happened in one episode?
And
Yeah,
then like
and
5
it
episodes
stayed.
later, oh, you know
Oh,
what?
no.
Let's get back to Henry real quick here. Oh yeah, that's right. We tunneled him up.
3 months later.
But it's not only that.
God.
So this was a working track line too. I mean, he was delivering goods and everything. So Topham Hatt not only bricked him up, but he entirely took down an entire train line just to teach him a lesson about how he's going to work. Because money doesn't matter to this dude because he controls everything.
He embargoed some random town. It was like,
Straight up. So I mean, that just think of the power you have to not only lose a train,
But also brick up the entire fucking tunnel.
to brick up the entire tunnel, and to completely take out a train. It's not like a road where you can just pop another one down. It's like,
Yeah. What
trains
the
are planned.
fuck?
Train lines are fucked up.
Whew. And and I was raised on Thomas the Tank Engine, so I'm sitting here going like, oh shit.
Yeah, if you actually go back and watch some of those early episodes, not the CGI stuff, but the actual model train episodes, there's terrifying shit in there.
Well, I'm glad I guess I only had like 2 videos of that because I didn't get to see it all the way through. But jeez Louise.
So, I mean, yeah, Topham Hatt is just an evil dude. He does not care if
Wow.
any of this here, right? So then there's also some weird symbiotic relationship with the trains and all the conductors. Every time something is shown, it's always shown that the tanks or the tank engines have a crew with them, right?
Oh shit! I didn't even think of that.
They always have a crew, even when they're sneaking out late at night to go get in some trouble. They have a crew operating them, and it's specifically shown in one of the CGI movies. One of the fucking locomotives fell down like a mine shaft, and his crew jumped out as he was falling. So I mean, so these things are crewed, but they also have their own mind of their own. So are they doing like some mind control shit to make these guys actually do what they want?
Yeah.
Is it some weird symbiotic relationship with them that they're actually part of the tank engine? They don't have a choice in this?
You thought we
What
were
the
one, but we are many.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, they're always crewed. It is
And also,
always
what
shown.
happened to the crew when they were tunneled up?
Right, exactly. I think the crew got out and just left them there, but like, did they die from not having that relationship? Is this some Avatar shit? They got to be plugged in?
They're like just camped outside the tunnel. We don't know what to do without our tree.
Well, good luck, nerd.
But it's like, so, I mean, do the humans that crew these things, do they have to be with them at all times? I mean, they obviously are shown to, but how much autonomy do these trains actually have to be able to go out late at night and go in to do shit they're not supposed to be doing?
Mm-hmm.
Like, who's making the call on this stuff?
What?
That's insane, dude.
Isn't that's just fucking weird. Like,
What are they going out at night to do?
most of the time just to fuck around or do something they weren't supposed to do. Like, I mean,
shit, man.
train shit. Like, I mean, you gotta remember, it is a kid's show. There's not a lot of deep meaning. They're not out selling fucking train crack or anything.
They're like, I want to.
They're not out derailing in some city somewhere.
But I mean, some of them, they're like, oh, I want to go talk to the diesels, even though they don't want us to be anywhere near them, and it's fucking midnight, so we're gonna go sneak into the diesel garage. Oh yeah, there's also hierarchy here, because you got your coal locomotives, you got your O-line locomotives, you got your diesels. None of them fucking like each other. So there's like gang fights going on with this shit.
I'm gonna have to watch this, man. This sounds like it's Sons of Anarchy but trains.
Oh, once they introduced the diesel lines and everything, it just got like kind of mean.
What the frick? Oh yeah, we burn cleaner.
They have like if they still have the show going, and it's still
They do.
got, like, the
They do.
Japanese speed rail, just like.
I am actually 90% certain they've had a speed rail train on there. But then, yeah, you still have other guys, like I brought up the troublesome trucks earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, their whole thing is that they're just little shit starters. They don't want to go, they want to put on their brakes or anything, but is that their way of fighting back? Like, they can't do much, but...
When you say troublesome trucks, are they trucks like diesel trucks?
No, so the troublesome, they're like freight dollies and everything. They get loaded up with stone or coal or whatever shit and just brought around.
All right.
But their whole thing is that they're just kind of dicks to all the
More
trains
middle
on
of
there.
Middle of the train, kinda?
They're
Just your basic freight line
They're
stuff.
the gallery.
Oh, I do actually have the name. So Thomas has his main cars that he goes with. Their name are Annie and Clarabelle. And they never get to like have a word in anything that goes on. It's, whatever Thomas wants, which is really what Sir Topham Hatt wants. So again, they're all sentient, but it's straight up slave labor. They don't have a choice in anything.
And then who's Mr. Topham doing business with? Like, what's he hauling? Who's he hauling? Like, is it? I mean, apparently they have passenger freights and they have like cargo freights. So like, what? Who? Where? What?
So a lot of this off the top of my head is there's some trains that do passenger lines, so they go from station to station for passengers. There's express mail and everything. They never really say how big Sodor is, but it's obviously fairly large because they have like 35 different trains that keep going constantly around this place. So it might actually supposed to be the UK. It actually might supposed to be the UK there.
I mean, that would make sense.
Yeah, so it's just... there are little ways to be able to fight back and everything of like not wanting to work properly all the time. It's like that's all they can do against him. Like it's just it's awful when you think about it. It's straight slave exploitative labor for these guys all the time.
Do they ever retire a character in the show or anything like that? Do you know of?
I don't know off the top of my head. I want to say there's like 300 something named characters.
Well, that's
What happens when they decommission
Yeah!
the Holy shit!
I mean, yeah, what happens when a train breaks or
Well,
a car breaks? Because they
They're like
all
a
have
horse,
personalities.
like, well, it's been fun.
Mr. Top Hat he's just, what's he got under that hat, man?
It's a terrifying place just for the amount of control one man has. Like, that's libertarian dream paradise right there.
Yeah, just without the. Never mind.
Alright. So yeah, man, Thomas is weird. Like, it's been around for a long time, but
So Mr. Topham Hat must be some kind of evil wizard who traps people into, sentient train things.
What if
Then takes takes their bodies and takes enough of their bodies and puts them in the crew, so that it's almost like a.
maybe.
What if that's purgatory? Like
Oh.
people go there and get put into like ever-running trains with no actual destinations, no actual goals, nothing's real other than just this one man.
Just the endless monotony
And all you
of
know is
serving
just
this
to run
man.
on these lines. Holy shit.
Oh, yeah, that one's a trip to actually think about and watch as an adult.
Or it could be hell.
Yeah.
Alright.
Said I was going to bring my train whistle for this, since I have a Thomas train whistle.
My God.
But I didn't. It's at home.
I'll
so.
add one in post.
Okay.
So is that it for the Thomas notes?
That's what I did for the Thomas notes there.
Okay.
We're going to stick on trains, though.
Okay.
We have more trains.
More trains, just because, trains.
Trains are awesome.
So there's a show called Chuggington.
Okay.
Yes, this is a really small kid show, and it's actually not that good. There's no real, lessons learned or anything. It's just 3 trains that are continuously passive-aggressive little bitches. And they never learn their lessons. Like,
Sounds like from the
fine.
Midwest.
Very good chance. But the universe that Chuggington is in is weird.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is train-based.
Okay.
There's no sidewalks, there's no roads, it's rail tracks.
The heck?
Everything is train-based. And it's weird on that because the train lines even go into abandoned haunted ruins and weird places that there'd be no reason to ever have train lines. Literally, they go into an old decrepit mansion at one point that is train lines through there. The world that is built up from this is...
Oh, whose house am I in right
Well,
now?
that actually sounds like a nightmare I had. Whew.
Oh, dude, this is
What?
actually...
I can tell you guys about that one, man. That was a fucking crazy
Sounds like an
nightmare.
amusement park ride, actually.
So yeah, there's no other modes of transport besides train in this universe.
Okay.
One guy made a train-based bicycle, just a bike that'd go on the train tracks, and the whole episode was the other trains throwing a total shit fit at this guy for abandoning them. Yeah. Oh, you're not going to need me anymore because you have your bicycle? And he threw a tantrum.
Sounds like a toxic relationship going on there, buddies.
Oh, man.
Holy crap.
This is another British series, apparently.
Chuggington was?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised then. But
Well-
yeah, so the trains in this are also sentient, right? They all
these
have...
are creepier looking than Thomas the Tank
They're
Engine.
creepy. And the worst thing is, these trains are grown. These are grown trains. They're not built. There's literally trained
grown.
toddlers. They are grown.
Oh.
They grow up.
Dude, they got train-ussies, dude.
Come on, get that trusty.
No.
I don't like trains anymore.
Well, we just cured a bunch of autistic kids of liking trains now.
Oh, dude. Okay, so yeah, there's children trains that are grown. You
That's
said.
Yeah, they're grown. They're
Ew.
not. There's even a conjoined twins
Oh
train.
my god.
It's
What
supposed
the
to be like a
fuck?
little trolley, but each end of it is its own separate train, and they're like toddlers. They talk the little baby talk and everything. They get a birthday and they grow a little bit. It's fucking weird.
Count me.
Oh.
Well, like the old steam train is an old grandpa train.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
That is so weird.
And so it's all track based, but everyone listens to an anonymous voice that comes from the speaker box.
Oh no.
You
shit.
never see anything. It's just
Oh shit.
this voice tells you what you're doing, and you go and do it. So it's just a random speaker box that they're everywhere.
That's disturbing. What?
So I mean, like this whole thing is some weird simulation thing with.
Are you
With
okay? Are you
people watching.
okay?
Are there even people on this show?
There are people, but they're very like not the main characters.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are just like plot points of, oh, I gotta go pick up this bitch and her geese or something.
Yeah, I see there's like buildings in the background, so there's like, you know.
It's like an actual city going
So
on
it is an
behind you.
actual city. They
Yeah.
watch movies and everything, but they're all train-centered movies. There's a train superhero that can fly through the air with its own jet engine and shit. The whole world is very much transportation based on trains.
See, I was kind of hoping you were gonna say there was tracks in the sky.
That would be probably better.
That would be hilarious.
Like he lays down the tracks.
Yeah.
Kind of like, you know, in ice-based superheroes, to like put the ice in front of them as they're going.
So yeah, it's just
Where
like
is my track?
it's another terrible world controlled by some omnipresent god that can see you from everywhere and tells you what to do.
Hey, pick up this bitch and her geese.
And again, I mean, it's fucking class-based. Like, all these train things are class-based. Like, you got your passenger train, and he's super cool because he's super fast. Then you got your poor little freight train that just never really fits in.
Oh.
And then you got some weird, like, fire truck train. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but he's red and he's
There's
got
no
a...
cars, so there has
Yeah,
to be a
so there has to be... Yeah, you gotta have that. But, I mean, just the navigating of the city and everything has got to be terrible.
I need to see.
I
the
saw some
taco
of the
train.
tracks, and I was
Did
like,
you see
why
the
are they
cop
so,
train?
like,
Yeah.
Cop
It's-
train's just a fucking tank.
Oh god.
It's... Yeah, I don't know, man.
What
I
are
don't...
you doing in this neck of the woods?
And
No,
again,
it'd be one of those fucking giant artilleries from like the World War II.
boost off the train cannon.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh.
what else do we have on that? Was that it for Chuggington?
That's it for Chuggington there.
There's a
God.
lot more mystery with Chuggington.
I
There's a
was gonna say,
lot of mystery because
yeah.
nothing's really explained, and it doesn't have a whole lot of seasons or anything. And my kids don't watch it anymore. It's like I said, it's a young kids show, so it's not supposed to really make any sense. But man, it's a fucked up world. I mean, somebody had to place those tracks in all these abandoned ruins and shit. Who's the man behind the mask here controlling everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like Train World. Like instead of Train Island.
Yeah, it's straight train world, but you don't even get to have any other mode of transportation. Like, this is it. Trains or nothing. You can't even fucking walk because there's tracks everywhere. All the fucking buildings are up on raised platforms, so you'd have to jump down, cross the fucking track, climb back up. It sucks. All right, so we'll get off trains for a little bit.
Oh, I was gonna say, do we have another one? Because I didn't know there was any. I didn't even know there was anything outside of Thomas the Tank
Oh,
Engine.
there's. I think there's like one more, but we never watched it, so.
So
I don't have a
point.
lot
It
of
doesn't
info.
exist.
Yeah. So this one's actually been really popular for a little while now. PJ Masks.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
You know, yeah, you guys most probably heard PJ Masks. It's,
From Tevin.
Yeah,
Yep.
your kids.
they both love PJ Masks. And, you know, again, on the surface, it's okay, kid superhero and everything. Not a big deal. But really, they're domestic terrorists.
All right, so set the scene here.
All right. So their secret base is literally a giant totem pole in the middle of the town park. It is not secret. It is there. People see this every night of them driving their vehicles in and out of this thing. It is lifted off to the moon a few times. Like, it is not a secret base at all. Right?
Okay.
So, what's happening here is that these kids have literally created their own nighttime terroristic ring. No one is ever out at night except for them and the villains. You never see another person at night because they are at home, under their beds, hoping to God that they don't drive their tank over their fucking house. Because it happens. PJ Masks is the show.
Masks?
Masks, yes. Because Gecko fucking has a tank that he drives up and down buildings. And it is shown to be heavy, so unless they've reinforced these buildings quite a lot, there's a ton of structural damage happening every night from these kids. Alright, so I mean, their totem pole's gone to the moon. It's not a secret base. They are not hiding anything.
Okay.
Alright. So, yeah, here, the Gecko-mobiles has significant weight. I mean, the Outglider is an unregistered VTOL airplane going up to the fucking moon sometimes, causing massive disturbances to airspace. Like, they're damn lucky that they haven't gotten NATO after them or something and start shooting them down.
NATO don't stand a chance.
NATO don't stand a chance, because one of their villains literally can control gravity.
Oh.
So, yeah, that's why they don't fucking mess with them. Because their villains are also their friends half the time. They, end the episode being like, hey, we just want to be friends and have fun. As fucking Luna Girl can move the moon where she wants to and lift up buildings.
And just almost leveled half the city.
Yeah. I mean, their whole town is beholden to these tiny fucking terrorists.
And they're all part of the same club, too. That's the worst part.
Yeah, it's all the same club. I mean, it's...
Hey, man, that was a pretty sweet rocket launcher. That was pretty...
But on top of that, I mean, they're literally kids. Like, they go to school during the day, so they're not getting the amount of sleep they need. Which is why they're such assholes. Because they're up all night, not getting sleep, still going to school. So it's just... Are they just building up to something worse? I mean, they just biding their time here until they...
I would love to see a "How's my driving" sticker on their vehicles.
They fucking need it. But on top of that, man, they're villains. Literally, all their villains are, like, Omega-ranked fucking fighting people. I already said Luna Girl that can control gravity. She also talks to moths and has, like, a little moth army, which... Not used.
That's scary in of itself.
Yeah. Well, she tried to give them up for butterflies once, but the butterflies were like too pretty and didn't want to listen to her. So back to her moths.
What a classes.
Yeah. And she's a psycho. She wants to just destroy everything, but really she just wants a friend. Like half the time if they just play a game with her, she's fine. Fucking Night Ninja.
Nice.
There's our click.
Do you have a box over there? Like, where'd you just pull that from?
It was in my caboose.
Oh, I see. I get one too now.
So, I mean, like, Night Ninja just wants to do some sweet ninja stuff with his ninjalinos. They are called ninjalinos, which is just hilarious. Yeah, he's just hanging out with his little ninjalinos,
What the fuck is...
So, I mean, he's his own little ninja and everything, but he's got his own pocket dimension. So he can just have his own fucking world in his own pocket dimension. The only villain they have that really, like, is a villain is Romeo, and he's just your typical mad scientist. But he has created robots that are fully sentient and able to pull off some massive shit. He's got freeze ray weapons, and, like, if he wasn't 5, he could probably be a real threat to the world. But he's just fucking going around. He makes this dumbest shit, like where we brought up ice superheroes. For his big giant mobile lab, he made a little ice track for it so we could have a little ice roller coaster.
There you go.
That's...
Yep.
I mean, what else do you do with ice powers at this point?
Fuck, right? I mean, his biggest thing, though, is him and his robot called Robot have this weird bromance going on where he has to build him a girlfriend so he'll leave him alone.
Wait, he built the robot a girlfriend?
Yep, he built the robot a girlfriend so Robot would leave him alone.
What the fuck?
So I mean, there's more villains in the later seasons, but we stopped watching that because we don't watch it
the world
anymore.
expands. Yeah, there's
The
even
world
more
expands more. I mean, there's
children, superpowered children who terrorize
What?
exclusively at night.
exclusively at night. They go into the night so they can save the day, and really all they're doing is causing all the problems for this poor town. On the amount of gravitational shifting that this town goes through nightly between their rocket launches and the fucking moon moving on back, it's not good. It is so not good.
Surfing must suck there.
Yeah, the person is probably the biggest threat.
Yeah. But yeah, and it's like, who gave these kids powers? It's never explained. They just randomly have this fucking secret base giant totem pole in the middle of the park, and
Well,
they have superpowers and vehicles and a robot butler and part of it, and it's
yeah.
Sounds just as ridiculous as like Powerpuff Girls.
at least Powerpuff Girls is a little explained with Professor
Yes.
X.
True.
Yeah.
Professor X made them, and using
Chemical X
Yeah,
and
Chemical
sugar spice
X.
and everything nice.
Yeah.
And they don't have this weird omnipresent lab and shit. They're literally operating out of their house.
yeah,
I mean, the budget for the windows that they keep breaking through, that's a whole nother thing.
yeah, and the ceilings. And,
I mean, Professor X is actually dealing in weapons. That's the only way to be able to keep affording all the
Yeah.
fucking repair costs here.
Dude, that's another one. We gotta deep dive into the Cartoon Network shows that we watched as a kid.
Right? There's a
true.
lot of good stuff,
Figure out
and so
those.
many of them are connected. too.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say
All
Powerpuff
the
Girls
Dexter
is.
cameos and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, what else do you have?
All right, so next one, Miraculous. This one is a French show. French. Actually, I got a couple French shows. This is literally just French Sailor Moon.
Oh, how fun!
It is straight up French
So-
Sailor Moon.
So build the world for us. What is this setting?
So it's in Paris, right?
Okay.
Girl has a Chinese mother, French father. They own a bakery. Starts out very normal, go to life. And they're called Miraculouses. They're little... Shoot, what was the anime? Cardcaptor Sakura? You remember that little bear thing with wings that was with her?
Nope.
No, I don't know.
I don't
I'm
know what that
sorry.
is.
But it's like a little... I'm going to call it a pet. That's not right, but it's
Yeah.
like a little pet thing.
It's like a sprite thing. Almost.
Yeah, a little sprite thing there.
Okay. But
So-
that's normal for the world. That wasn't.
No, that's not normal for the world. That is
Okay.
just...
So it was
what
an
it starts.
unusual thing.
So yeah, this old Chinese guy has this box of what they call Miraculouses, which is more or less like a little pendant earring thing
Okay.
that gives you magical girl transformations. So, there's a villain, and he's trying to get all these things. Old Chinese guy breaks them up. They scatter all over. The main character's name is Ladybug because she turns into this weird little, like,
Oh,
Ladybug-inspired
okay.
costume, right?
Yeah.
And then the other one is Cat Noir, which is literally just a catboy.
Yes, I actually
Yes.
got that voice actress at Collecticon.
Oh,
Nice.
that's pretty cool. Like, it's a good show, more or less. It's literally just French Sailor Moon, though. But on this one, it's magical girl transformations. Every one of, like, the monster of the weeks is one of their friends that gets possessed because they turn into a petty bitch over something. Like, oh, he's talking to her, and then the moth dude is like, oh, I can use this to turn into a rage monster. And, you get your monster of the week, they make up at the end. But it's just, there's no consequences for anything that ever happens in this show. At all. Like,
Okay, so now I see the little sprite things you're talking about.
Yeah,
Almost
little-
what they base their costume on, it seems.
kinda. They're all,
So-
each one of them has its
It's like
own
a
little thing
ladybug,
on there.
Cat. I don't know
Yep,
if you've
little
seen
cat.
Okay, yeah.
it. Okay, so strange. And you said there's a Chinese guy with a little.
Is the guy who has, like, all the main ones, and he loses them, and that's what starts the whole series there.
Okay.
I don't know this one as much, just because I can't pay attention to it too much, because it doesn't catch me that well, It's not like Trains, where I'm fully invested in it. But, I mean, it's very French. Very French.
Do you happen to have a furry little guy that kind of looks like that?
Yes.
It's the guy from Gremlins.
I would not be surprised if, they probably mentioned Mogwai at some
Yep.
point in there.
Yep.
Yes. The Asian guy who gives away. That's funny. Yeah, those.
That was not a bad gremlin.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That was where I was like, wait a minute, why does that sound so familiar? I was thinking about it.
You say that now, and yeah, that actually is like, shit, it might be the same guy.
Yeah. He left America after Gremlins and then went to France. Apparently France is a lot more chill about everything. Yeah, you know.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's no consequences to anything. Like, buildings get destroyed, Ferris wheels get knocked down, French people do French things, and never any consequences for anybody. Because for some reason, nobody can tell that if you put a small black strip over someone's eyes, they're still the same person with the same bright hair,
Hey,
same
man.
voice.
You know, Superman. I think
I mean,
a little
guess.
curl and glasses is not that much more ridiculous, you know.
But I mean, the
It
whole
still is a
thing.
mask.
These guys,
Yeah.
Ladybug and Cat Noir, like, they're teaming up constantly, and they have such a crush on each other when they're not in costume. But it's like, you literally just saw him run away. He's got big blonde hair, and then Cat Noir comes up with the same big blonde hair from the same direction Homeboy just ran from.
They can't put one and one together.
And, like, no one, you're not putting this together for the 4 seasons that I watched? Like, somebody should have found this out by now.
I just see you yelling at the TV. It's him!
I actually am not allowed to watch a lot of shows with my wife at all. Because I have
I'm
opinions.
so tired of trains.
I have opinions on things.
Oh, no, I think it's because he's the buzzkill on it, where he's like, that doesn't make any sense.
Oh, man. Whenever she's watching Masked Singer, I just assume it's Magic Johnson for everybody. One of these days, I'm going to be right. So yeah, we don't watch a lot of shows together.
One time I watched Masked Singer, I somehow guessed like the 2 or 3 people in a row. And I was like, how the fuck was that? Did I get that? Like one of them, I was like Danny Trejo, like as a joke, and then it was actually Danny Trejo. What? It's like, how are you supposed to know? I don't know what that guy sounds like singing.
Right? It's like, I don't fucking know, man. Magic Johnson for everybody.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go to another French show, Gigantosaurus.
Ooh.
I kind of like this one. It's very much small kids show of, hey, friendship can help a lot. But the reason it's really, really terrifying and sad is because it's dinosaurs and we know what happened to them.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
so
are
this
dead.
is like a prehistoric setting.
Yeah, it's literally prehistoric times, and it's 4 little friends who keep bugging the giant T-Rex guy who just wants to be left the fuck alone, and he has to constantly save them. So, I mean, it's pretty good.
That's pretty cool.
I'm waiting for
That's
the
pretty
episode
cute.
where they're falling and he has to try to catch him.
I think that actually happened.
He uses his tail.
He does.
Oh, lame.
Aw. Cheating!
Yeah, and again, it's a smaller kids show. I actually really like the art in it. It's kind of fun and stylized, but dinosaurs, and we know what happens to the dinosaurs there.
What was it called?
Yes, Gigantosaurus, and it's again very French, but it's pretty good. Like, I didn't realize France had so much animation going out.
Hey, what is that? In the sky!
Gigantus.
It's a man. He
There it
strikes
is.
the earth. They're like, who are you? He's like, I'm Jesus Christ. Yeah, dinosaurs.
Jesus Christ, dinosaur hunter.
You have to wait however many seasons to find out. It's some creationist show.
Well, shit, I didn't write any notes on this one, but if we want to go for dinosaurs, trains, and creationism,
Oh, God.
Dino Train.
Dino
Okay.
Train.
So I've only watched a few episodes of this because it's fucking terrible.
I'm offended.
Oh, dude, it's a bad show.
Dino Train.
It's a bunch of dinosaurs on a train who can go through time and learn shit, but it's just bad. Like, it's just not a good
You said
show.
dinosaurs on a train? Or?
Dinosaurs on a train. Like,
Okay.
there's a dinosaur conductor, and they're taking dino tickets
What the fuck?
to go time traveling through Dino Lands. It's just not a good show. There's too much going on there.
And see, like right now, I'm still tripping pretty good right now, having a good time, by the way. And I just can't tell if that was a real show or not.
That's
or if
a
you
real
just made that
show.
up off the fucking
No.
spot, and I'm like,
That is a real show.
no.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Kids and trains apparently are a thing.
It's,
And we already knew kids and dinosaurs were a thing.
What was the name of this show?
Not just kids, Chad.
Dino Train.
Dino.
Dino Train. Check it out right there. Dino Train's got 5 seasons.
Bullshit.
Chud.
Oh.
Chud.
Chud Elias. I gotta start quoting Andrew Tate now.
Yeah, so I mean, it's supposed to be like a learning show and everything, but it's just not that good.
They don't even teach anything.
Dude,
They're just like, this is all fake, and Jesus is really the answer.
I'd get to 3rd grade and be like, where are the trains?
Yeah, there is a lot of train-based children's programming.
Yeah, that's
Like-
strange.
Yeah.
I didn't watch a lot of kid. Like, it's really funny thinking about it. I didn't watch a lot of like kid shows like this. Like I've seen probably Thomas the Tank Engine once. I think like the kid shows that I saw the most, like I was already like not into them, like Dora the Explorer and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, at a young age, my mom like put on like Popeye for me. So that's not very much like a kid show where they're like, where's the spinach?
Well, a lot of those like old-ass cartoons were not meant for kids at all. They just happen to get to tag along. It's like, okay, you got 10 minutes in between, your news trailers when you're going to watch your talkies in the movie theater.
Right.
Yeah, I missed a lot of that. For me, it was like horror movies, Jackass, and South Park.
And that's a lot
And
of...
that makes a very weird human.
Dude, I went and saw the Bigger, Longer, and Uncut movie in the theater when that came out.
Nice.
I don't even remember. It couldn't have been like... Fuck, when did that come out?
That
90s?
is a form
If you
of
don't look it up, it'll make you sad.
I don't want to look it up. But yeah,
That
I
was
saw that
middle
in the
school
theater.
for us.
And I should not have seen that in the theater.
Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. The South Park movie?
The very
Yeah.
first South Park movie they did. Yeah.
That was amazing.
Oh. But yeah, the only other one I have, and we've already talked about it a little bit, is Bluey.
Bluey, yes.
Bluey is just a good show.
People say that one's like a very deep, well-written show, apparently.
So there's a few episodes where I literally had tears in my eyes at the end because it just hit so deep to my heart of, oh shit, this is the same thing happening to my kids. They're growing up. I don't like that. This is tough. Like, what do you mean they no longer sleep in their own crib and everything? What do you mean they're, like, wanting their own space? Like, fuck.
Right?
And then we get to the point, like, today where my daughter told my coworker to turn her brain on so I can go home.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
Yeah, so, you go from nice, sweet, innocent children, and my daughter, I love her to death, but God, she's a bitch.
I'll be about it.
She'd be about it. But they came in before they left for the day. They came into my work because they're out and doing a trip here.
Yeah.
And she's like, Daddy, come with me. It's like, I can't. I got to work. And then my coworker said, well, I need you to use the other half of my brain. And Tavea straight up says, turn your brain on so he can leave. It's like, Jesus, girl, you were 8 years old?
I love her so much.
Oh.
Amazing.
She's a very strong-willed little girl, and she's going to get me in so much trouble as she keeps growing up. I am terrified of her learning how to drive.
Wait. Where did that come from?
Because I just think about how her attitude is and how worse it's going to be here in another 8 years. Because we're not going to get automated cars that soon to be able to prevent her from fucking giving everyone the finger.
Yeah, oh.
Turn your brain on so I could go, damn it!
Yeah, teenage Tibia might be. Yeah.
It's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot.
Oh,
Whenever she's out hanging out with my mom and they have to go find some animal to kill because it's been getting into the chickens or anything, oh yeah, she's all right there ready to go fucking murder a weasel. She'll march right along with her shovel ready to fucking whack it.
damn, dude.
She's- Yeah.
She wants to murder a weasel.
Ruthless.
So, my mom has her farm set out there and there gets weasels and they start killing chickens and everything.
The
And
women in your family are scary.
they're terrifying. I am afraid of my mother. And Tavia is going to end up a lot like her, and I'm terrified of that. So when I watched like an episode of Bluey where they're all nice and sweet and innocent and everything, I'm like, oh, you guys were like that once. That was
Now
nice.
they're like Shut up, nerd.
Yeah.
Well, they're both in wrestling right now,
Oh,
which
so-
means pretty soon they're going to be able to take me down.
Yeah.
It's not going to be good. Like, I'm fat and got bad knees. I don't have much of a chance.
You were supposed to make them mathletes, not athletes.
Well, I'm hoping it'll balance out. And just maybe if I
Robotics and all that.
right, get some older kids to pick on them or something.
Jeez.
But yeah, if you guys ever get the chance to check out Bluey, it's a good show. The dad on there was in a band in Australia, so every now and then I'll throw that band on when we're driving, and they just be like, "Who turned on Bluey?" Because he doesn't even use a different voice; it's just his regular voice.
You said that in the other episode.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
that's
was
funny.
an Australian punk band or something.
Yeah, shit. I wonder what was that? Brisbane rock group, Custard is the name of their band. Custard.
That's funny.
Nice. You know, while we're still in the vein of like children's shows, I'd like to pivot a little bit to children's movies. Who saw that Buzz Lightyear movie they put out?
Oh, I saw that.
Holy crap, that was crazy.
They're like, time goes by and one day you'll die.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Everyone you know will die.
I was not ready for them to put that much story into a Buzz Lightyear movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're like, don't focus on your own thing too much because everyone around you will die and you'll be left alone.
Right? It's like, man, what the hell? But it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be, but
I think I saw it like twice in theaters. It was damn good.
I know I saw it with Chuck. Were you there with
It
us?
was, yeah.
Yeah, you were.
Yes, we saw it like a bunch of dweebs together where we're like, yeah, I like Buzz Lightyear.
You should have shown that to the class.
Oh. Well, it had nothing to do with what we were doing.
All the more reason to show
So,
it.
yeah, we have whiteboards where we draw well, we don't draw things, but I was drawing things while we were talking. But, yeah, what other kids' movies? We're not really, we don't really watch kids' movies or shows, by the way.
It's just kind of something that's, if it's something nostalgic to us, we'll probably check it out.
Yeah, so.
well, I'm going to bring up, since we said movies, I wasn't going to bring it up, but I am going to bring it up now. So Paw Patrol, the Paw Patrol movies.
Oh, there we go.
So, yeah, we'll get into that. Besides the obvious fucking cop propaganda
I
there.
was just going to say, child propaganda. Woo!
Yep, straight up propaganda and all that. Like,
Where are you going now, dog?
They have like similar rules to like bears. So like if they're black, fight back. If they're white, they're all right.
Remember, kids, don't be out past sundown.
Yeah.
so,
Fucking hey.
like the big questions in that did get answered in the movie though. Like, who's funding this shit? And it's straight up saying merchandising. Like, that was a line in the movie. Like, all of this is from merchandising. Is how we afford this. But again, that's also a group of characters that is not the heroes. Again, they're terrorists. They have completely taken over Adventure Bay. There is no civil service anymore. There's no fire department. There's no cops. There's only the law of the Paw Patrol. If anything needs to get done, you have to call on them.
Yep.
You can't do anything else without them. I mean, they even have the mayor in their pocket. The
That's-
mayor calls them first.
This feels like The Boys.
You
Just
know, a little bit, because sometimes they get superpowers depending on the series there.
Wait, did Alan Moore write Paw Patrol?
I'd watch that.
Just little puppies exploding and shit.
I find that
Fuck.
the more I realize like what Alan Moore does, the more I realize I'm like, oh, you're just writing the same stuff again and again.
It's literally the same thing, but I'm okay with that
Boys, Watchmen.
sometimes. Like, sometimes I just want my, fascism to take over and kick a puppy.
Oh my gosh.
Well, yeah, man, fucking Paw Patrol is another just terrifying universe to live in if you're anyone but the main cast.
True.
Because they regularly go to different places. I mean, they've gone to South America, they've gone to the jungle and everything in the regular show. Mm-hmm. So now Adventure Bay is completely defenseless without any civil service. if a fire happens, guess what? Your one Dalmatian firefighter is fucking around in the jungle with monkeys on an obstacle course. What do you do then?
You shit out of luck.
You're
now, dude.
fucking
Yeah.
shit out of luck.
Shut up.
You pretty much go back to the original rules: who could get to the house first and who could loot what.
Right?
Gosh.
I mean, the amount of crime and everything that has to happen in Adventure Bay whenever they see them leaving.
Anytime they see the Paw Patrol go on, all right, purge time.
Right? Fucking purge Adventure Bay.
Do they actually arrest people in Paw Patrol?
No, they just
So they've netted them a few times. Like, it's never gone into that hardcoreness, even with fucking Mayor Humdinger being an absolute humdinger. And, like, in the first movie, when he tries to control the weather and causes a bunch of shit, when he should have been arrested, no.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I was hoping they'd do like some like fucking Judge Dredd shit up there. It's just like, I found you
No.
guilty of this crime. Do you have any last words?
Like, there should be a lot more actual law enforcement that happens on that, but... Yeah. And even that, though, I mean, Adventure Bay is their hometown. Whatever. Okay, they've taken over this town. Then they go to Adventure City in the movies. And he just plops a giant fortress down in the middle of the city. Drives his RV, fucking smashes it down so it raises up and comes in. He doesn't own any land there. He just, like, took over some empty city lot and is squatting there now.
And this is the mayor we're talking about.
No,
right?
this is the fucking kid in the Paw Patrol taking over Adventure City with their little RV base thing.
Oh, okay.
So it's not even their land. They're just, like, literally like, oh, this is us now. We are now your law enforcement here for this movie.
It seems very American.
Yeah.
I mean, these dogs are constantly driving around in their vehicles. They don't have licenses.
True.
There's no registration or insurance on these vehicles. These are custom-built jalopies. No one's fucking insuring them. And if you can get State Farm to fucking insure your combo motorcycle, ATV, and
And
watercraft,
submarine, yeah.
yeah. It's just, it doesn't work, man. No one's taken up on that.
Let me tell you about the insurance claim of the one time we took care of the underwater Paw Patrol machine.
And again, on that one, it's
They
fucking...
were fighting the mayor of the city.
Oh, dude, like, they fight Humdinger all the time. He's always up to some dumb shit.
Who does Paw Patrol answer to?
No one!
What the fuck?
That's what I said. This is another terrorist organization that has taken over a town.
Oh, Jesus.
There's no accountability here on this child that has no supervision. An army of super dogs with fucking weapons of mass destruction. You know, the little fucking bulldog with his massive dozer taking down buildings and shit.
I told him to stop, but he put a cap in my ass.
And then in the second movie, they give the dog superpowers.
Oh,
So
my
not
God.
only do you have this unregulated fucking vigilante squad,
now
now
they're
they're
on
superpowered.
steroids.
like, what do you even do against that shit? Who's going to stand up to them?
Man.
It's... Kid shows are fucking terrifying when you put
They are.
any amount of thought into it.
Oh, God.
There's no balance there.
No.
There's none. There's
No
none.
justice.
Trying to think if there's anything else the kids watch, but not really. Like, they've been watching Amazing World of Gumball lately. And that's a show that's meant to be ridiculous for the sake
Yeah,
of ridiculous.
it's like that.
That's a good show.
Getting started with that.
Yeah, like, you can't even do anything on that.
Like I already don't get the dynamic of Gumball's family or whatever, because I'm like, wait, no, it's his friend. That's a fish.
No, so that's his brother that's adopted.
Wait,
that was
yeah.
explained.
Okay, so they do answer that.
Yes, that was explained in a multi-part episode where they adopted a little fish, and he grew into whatever he is now through the
Fish
power of
with
love
legs.
and shit.
Is this the kids show where they're trying to They're talking about metal genres.
It's
This is Viking
yeah.
metal.
Yep, I'm
It's-
pretty sure that was an episode.
Yeah, it's a Cartoon
What's
Network show.
grindcore?
So
Yeah. Yeah, it's a show that's ridiculous for the sake of ridiculous.
I love that. That's
there's
amazing.
a legendary clip on that show. I think it's a hot dog or a banana, potentially like sexually assaults gumballs.
Oh god.
So
Well, that's the show where the art is basically have the figures going across kind of like a background, right?
It's very much a
each one has-
2D.
it's really weird. It's like 2D and 3D.
Yeah.
Depending on the character and everything, like the Balloon family is weirdly 3D, and then some are straight up just cardboard cutouts. And I think there's actually just some
Yeah.
superimposed guy in the background on some shots.
That's insane.
It's a really weird
Okay.
show, but it's meant to be weird. It's weird
Yeah.
for the sake of weirdness.
yeah.
I'll have to pull up that clip sometime or something. but
There's some
I gotta
good
find it.
clips from that show, like when Gumball learns how to be a social justice warrior so he can take down the other guy who's being an even more social justice warrior. And they have a big anime fight scene
That
over
was
it.
yeah, that was good at the time too. When like rad lib type people were being really fucking annoying and preachy about like the dumbest shit, like things that didn't matter that much.
Yeah. And that's what it was. All this was just, none of it mattered.
Yeah.
And then you get into a lot of shows now, like, just are weird for the sake of being weird. And then some of them are just, I mean, they're good. Like Adventure Time. I love Adventure
Yeah,
Time. That's
yeah.
a good show. But it's also weird for the sake of being weird.
Yeah, the crazy thing is like they rationalize and justify every weird thing.
They
in
do.
that
That's
show.
a very well
There's
written
such
show.
deep lore on that freaking show.
For
And
which,
then
which
Adventure
one?
Time.
Adventure Time.
Adventure Time.
yeah, then since HBO Max got Cartoon Network or whatever, they did another show called Fiona and Cake, where they basically continued Adventure Time,
Okay.
but it was like for adults. Like there's like blood and shit in there now.
Oh, it's a little bit more hardcore and stuff like a kid show.
There
Okay.
was a point where Finn was in there. He like decapitated like a giant chicken monster, and there's like blood and meat and all that.
Trying to catch up on that Rick and Morty audience.
Our fans grew
No, I
up.
think it was so. Yeah, I think it's more so like they probably realized at some point they're like, we have people like age 15 and up watching this. So, but yeah, that's also a weirdly emotional show.
Oh, dude, the
Followed by
Ice King
this, so-
episode and
Oh,
everything.
God,
yeah.
That hurt.
Yeah, Fiona and Cake's basically just Simon the show.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, that's cool because that's the character I really was going. Oh, back to Gumball. The voice actor for Gumball was in a controversy recently, right?
Oh God, what?
So have you heard of this YouTuber named Dream?
I don't know any YouTubers.
He's like a
I'm old.
Minecraft YouTuber. So funny, like I have to explain the whole freaking like, internet culture stuff here. But yeah, Dream was like this Minecraft YouTuber who was like faceless, and he like cheated a world record or something like that. Had some mod on, got exposed for it. Who cares? That guy doesn't matter. Point is, he was streaming with the voice actor of Gumball, and there's a video clip where Gumball calls Dream the F slur.
Oh!
Oh.
And like,
You can't do that.
and it's what's really weird is everyone kind of collectively went like, "Nah, it's cool." Gumball's like, the Gumball kid is not only a child but also like queer. Like, so they're like, they could say it, and I'm just saying like. I don't think that dynamic's the same as like the N-word, so I don't think you can just say
No,
it. You know?
you can't really take that back now. That's
It's one of those, and I don't know if you guys are ready to leave the child show topic behind and get into slurs right away, but that's kind of one
Wait,
thing.
we're almost an hour in.
Yeah,
I suppose it's time to start bringing up the slurs now.
yeah, I was like, we were just talking about kids shows, and I'm like slurs, but
I just see you shaking. I can't wait.
yeah, I want to talk about slurs. I'm chud.
Well, then let's give you a good segue into that.
Oh my god.
You seen the trailer for the American Society of Magical Negroes?
Oh God, dude! I just heard about that.
Hold on.
Oh.
What?
The American Society for Magical Negroes is a movie coming out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, the acronym doesn't mean anything.
I-
was
No.
trying to see it.
No, I was trying for that too. It's literally, you guys remember the big trope in a lot of 90s movies where a black guy would show up to magically solve everyone's problems?
Oh, Morgan Freeman. Yeah.
Morgan, yes.
Yeah.
So that was the thing. If you go back and watch
Yeah.
a lot of movies from there, like literally they'd have a magical Negro character show up, fix everything.
I just need a black Southern woman to tell me everything's fine, sweetie. You know.
Is
So-
that what that entire show's going to be about?
I was reading the synopsis for it. It's literally a society for magical Negroes who help make white people's lives better.
What?
God.
This movie is going to be either the greatest thing ever or the absolute worst thing in the world.
I
But-
thought it was a series.
No, it's a movie coming out.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
watch that, yeah.
Somebody actually. Whoa.
But all I'm thinking is all the shit that the ticket takers are going to hear when they have someone come up and be like, "Can I get 2 tickets to
I'm just gonna point.
you gotta say the whole sentence, sir.
The American Society of Magical. You know.
Can I just go see Black Harry Potter?"
You'll probably piss someone off if you said that. If you say that.
That's coming too. The HBO reboot of Harry Potter.
It's going to be that Key and Peele skit of the fucking magical school in the inner city. Why that wand got a silencer on it?
All I know is I was like, they're for sure making Hermione black. You know, because J.K. Rowling tried to, run it back. How many years later? Like, no, they were black the whole time. What do you mean?
Bullshit.
But man, there's going to be some interesting shit with that movie, even if it's bad or good. It's not going to end well for a lot of.
No.
Yeah, I mean, no, with everyone, we were just talking about in the other episode, everyone complaining about wokeness with the GTA 6 trailer.
Seriously.
the amount of like, oh, they're looking at the screen and preaching at us a message, which I mean, they might. You know?
I want to see
Sounds
big
like there's
booty
probably a
bitches
message
bouncing
there.
their booties. That's the message I want to see.
Yeah.
Show that ass.
Well, by the way, he means in GTA, not
this.
in the American Society movie.
Well, I mean, maybe. I didn't see who's casting it yet, so.
I mean, if Meg the Stallion is one of the magical people.
I hope it gets released in the wintertime so I can have my coat.
Someone in the movie, man, I just really don't know how to dance, and
They're going to teach him with the power of magic.
I have no rhythm.
Meg the Stallion comes out. I got something I gotta show you.
Fucking A.
Did you guys see She-Hulk, by the way?
Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
She-Hulk. I didn't mind it. I thought the ending was kind of whatever, but I didn't mind
The
it.
ending was fucking trash. Cause well, the only thing is too, because I understand comics did that whole thing,
Yeah.
but like they derailed the whole ending. I was like, but
Yeah.
you guys didn't roll it back and have a real ending.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
we
You just
needed
skip
an actual ending.
Yeah, that was the thing that really annoyed me.
Like,
I did laugh, or I didn't laugh, but I thought it was really funny when they had She-Hulk actually twerking that.
that was
that was
That
amazing.
fucking insane.
Loved
I was
it.
like, what the fuck, dude?
between that and having Daredevil do the Walk of Shame home.
You
That
know what?
was,
I didn't
yeah.
care about most of that, but Wong and his like new bestie relationship.
That was funny, yeah.
Oh my god.
No, I thought there was a lot of good stuff in that series.
Yeah.
It's like you guys didn't give it an actual ending.
Yeah,
like,
they
I
didn't
wanted.
stick the landing.
Yeah.
That was it.
When I saw Scar, I about shit myself.
Oh, everyone hated that too.
That's so stupid.
I was sitting there like, okay, we weren't ready for this yet.
He looked good. He looked good.
Yeah, I thought it was fun.
I was ready. I was okay with it.
Yep.
After the garbage ending, that was what I needed to see.
So wait, what? So we're talking about the end of the series, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the show.
Okay, they didn't come out with something else after that, or
No, they haven't released anything yet.
No one's watching anymore. After
Well,
that.
that's why I'm sitting here just going like, yeah, it didn't end very well. So I was hoping they'd have a
Everything-
second season, but
Yeah, everything they put out basically says She-Hulk. Like no one's watching. Like they're all
Dude.
flopping, dude.
I didn't watch Loki season 2
I
at all. I got to,
finally
maybe
finished
one
it.
episode.
I watched
Yeah.
one episode and I was like, I just don't care. I was like, yeah, hurry up with fucking Wolverine and X-Men and all that. And I don't mean the or Deadpool 3. You know? I'm like, I want to see the actual what you guys are
Actual
gonna do.
X-Men, yeah.
Which supposedly, someone did say there was like something in the cutscenes for the Marvels movie, which I was curious about, but not curious enough to go see it.
I'm so far behind on all those movies now. It's like, dude, I can't watch 45 hours of stuff just to watch one movie and figure out where we're at in the story anymore.
Yeah, well, a lot of it you don't even like really need. They'll just have they make dumb little references, and some people will say like, "Oh, you have to know," but it's like, no, you don't have to know. You just have to know that like, hey, this person came from another show. Anyways, that's why they're here. But no, back to the thing that we originally said. The slur conversation.
Okay,
This is
everyone.
really important to you, isn't it?
We're going all the way back.
Well, cause
The character Chud's coming out. He's going to
yeah.
drop that hard R right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
God.
so one thing that's really really annoying
Really.
is the idea that pretty much every group of people that have been discriminated against in some way, like, try to have their own N-word. And it's like, why do you do that?
You're not wrong on that.
Yeah, because, like, you know, that's the whole thing with, like, the Gumball thing where they're like, Gumball's queer. He can say the F word. Not the N-word.
It's like, is it
He
really,
can't say the N-word.
is it really necessary at all? Though?
Yeah, and it's like, when you question people about that, they're like, well, you know, that word was used to hold us down. I was like, bitch, the F slur was used to hold me down. I should be able to say it.
If you've ever been to middle school, you've been called one.
I was like, yeah, they're like, I was called that ever since I came out. I was like, I was called that and I never came out.
I was beaten up for being gay. I'm not even gay.
Yeah. Like, that doesn't, you know, that one doesn't measure up the same. Cause
No.
like, that word was just like, you know, not so much like, oh, that's because you're this. It's like, no, we're saying you're gay. Which, some people, crazily enough, are trying to go back to, like, saying things are gay is a bad thing again. And they're, like, people that are gay. Like, I saw it happening on a podcast I was listening to where I was like, what, you're gay? Why are you saying that? He's like, nah, that's gay. Like, and, like, the problem is he's totally, like, straight pilled as far as, like, the way he sounds and looks.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, dude, this is so fucking, you guys are trying to.
So wait, is gay supposed to be now derogatory again?
Well, that's the way he was saying. I was like, what are you guys doing? What is the consensus here? Yeah, sorry, I don't go to the board meetings of the LGBT, you know, how they're going to do things.
The
But
global conglomerate.
I know that every time I met people or they're all together, there's a few of them that try to say the F slur. I don't think most of them do.
No.
You know, and that's
No.
the thing too, is like, not everybody is okay with that.
Yeah.
So, like, you guys abandon that now.
Well, and it's still used in Europe as just a cigarette.
Yeah.
It took me a while when I went over to Europe, and
Well, I suppose
people were
you
just
just
like,
came
"Yeah,
back."
do you have a?" And I was like, "Wait, a what?"
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh
you're
no,
sick.
you say it, Doug.
That's the thing. It's like, you can easily just be like, you know, you homo, and like stuff like that, or oh, you dyke, you know, because those aren't like, the fact that I just said that out loud and no one went, you know, is why it doesn't matter, because like those are like derogatory terms, but they're not as bad as like the F slur, and
Shit.
Well,
I mean,
and I
definitely
also-
not as bad as the N word.
I also just found out recently a dike is an actual thing that's used for horses.
Well, it's used for retaining water, too. Like, if you go
No.
to the other city
Oh,
there,
that's right.
there's miles of dikes keeping it from flooding again.
Yeah, it's kind of like how you know, when people try to talk about slurs against white people, it's always the most like hunky-dory fucking word that doesn't hurt anybody.
Cracker. Cracker.
You-
Oh
I
my
kind of
God.
want like an actual good slur for white people, and they probably just don't tell us what it is because they want it to be their own thing.
It's
But
mayo
like,
monkey.
That's
That's the
I
best.
like that one.
That would-
a good one.
that actually sounds like someone's trying to be offensive to me.
Yeah. Like if someone called me mayonnaise, dude, I'd be like, oh, ow.
Ow!
You know?
That's Mr. Mayonnaise.
Oh god.
Well, it's just like, but then again,
Mayo monkey, I love it.
that
That's amazing.
I have to remember that one.
Watch, we're gonna have to start
Shirts
bleeping it
coming
out.
out soon.
Well, and it's fucking hard to keep up on what you can and can't say too. Like I try my best to be a good ally and everything. I've given up on trying to figure out what the acronym is, and I just use GSM, gender and sexual minorities, because that one doesn't change.
Oh, you mean LGBT?
Yeah, because now I guess like
That's just the basic, like, you know, your
But-
standard, but then there's like the IA, you know.
yeah, and like when queer became acceptable, like oh yeah, I'm queer. It's like okay, like I had 10, 13-year-olds call me that when I was playing video games yesterday. Is that an okay thing or a bad thing? I can't.
Queer
fucking
is
keep
acceptable
up.
now.
Queer is
but
acceptable
yeah.
now. Yeah.
See, that's the one. See, people took back queer. That's perfect. You know, homo has never been, you know, wrong. Take it back the F slur.
That one's going to be
it's
hard.
just- yeah. That's your way of knowing like someone's going too far there. You know.
Yeah, it's I don't know, man. It's so hard to keep up with everything on what like we know definitely what you cannot say. Like that really hasn't changed, but when people start saying certain things like
Yeah.
is this okay? Should you be saying this or not? Like
By the way, we're
I'm
not all
hip.
straight guys talking about this. I think it's like a.
No, I'm half a gay.
Yeah, I was like, I think this is like a 50 or, you know.
We're a good queer bunch.
Yeah.
The stuff that happens off the mic, there's a lot of hard F's dropped around, but you know.
No.
This is how you get us in trouble.
Well, you know, my wife's not here. She's up north. She'll never know. She'll never listen to this.
Man.
And you know, I will say that I personally do struggle with pronouns. If I know your pronouns, I will definitely use them.
Oh,
I find it easier just to be like, hey buddy, what's up?
I don't think that's what
I don't
was talking
remember
about
names.
earlier, but yeah.
Well,
I
I'm still on that.
pivoting slightly.
Yeah, I mean, I try to be a good ally. I try to do
Yeah.
everything I can to make people feel comfortable. I mean, Taylor came out as trans, and it took me a long time. I did not realize how hard it actually is to shift names and pronouns. Fuck, that's harder than I thought it'd be, because I was like, oh yeah, just call them what they want. It's not that hard, but you spent 18 years calling someone something. It's like,
Yep.
Yeah, well,
oh
I mean,
shit.
We had a friend who transitioned and then detransitioned after like 5
Well,
years.
that's all. Yeah, all of
And
our friends.
it was yeah.
Well, I've only
And-
ever known him as one thing, too, so now it's going to be like, oh,
Yeah,
that's his...
Yeah.
Who you are
No,
now.
no. You're like, oh, first you're
Yeah.
this, then you're like, all right. They transition. They're different.
Yes.
You know, COVID goes by. You know, whatever years, and then you're suddenly like, wait, you're back to
Shit.
And you know who you are, buddy. We love you.
Yeah.
Miss you.
Yeah. Shout out to you. You know.
You were a hot dude, you're going to be hot chick. I just haven't seen
Hot
you since
dude,
that.
hot chick, yeah, we don't care.
Yeah.
That booty's still moving.
Mm-hmm.
But,
That's why you eat ass, because everyone's got one.
yeah.
It's a good pivot away from kids shows. Sorry.
This is a confusing
Slurs,
episode.
Yeah. Went to slurs, then that one movie, then back to slurs, just so I can make my point. I had to be like, by the way, we're not, you know, just straight guys. Don't get mad at us, because I can already hear the freaking.
Sounds like Chud's trying
You know,
to recover.
yeah, yeah, here's the Chud take where, yeah, I can already hear the comments. They're like, you know, white straight males talking about what gay people can and can't say, you know, kind of thing.
It's crazy, man. There's so much out there. And I'm going to even bring the kid shows up on this. The fucking insults that they bring up and try to
They're
tell
throwing
people.
slurs?
They're making up their own slurs and shit.
Really?
Yeah, and it's just like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. What are you talking about?
You chugga motherfucker.
Well, I think kid shows usually have come up with a lot better insults because they, you know, definitely want to stay away from like anything that sounds like a slur. You know, they'll
I'm
be
sure.
like, you know, they'll be like, you butt huffer, you know.
That's actually a good one.
It's
Sup,
just,
choo choo.
right?
Yeah, I want to stay away from anything with the grr. You keep saying chug, and I was like, man.
Wait a minute.
I was like, I know that. I was like, I know it's a fake. It's a fake slur I came up with. I'm still stay away from
They're
it.
getting there.
So this is probably going to be where we're cutting it off here pretty soon. But I did want to say something. Chuck just released something, and I'm really proud of him. He just released his first book.
Oh, I was like, what are you talking about?
He doesn't know about it, but he did just release it.
Yes, technically, from the date we are now, I released it at the end of last month, but yes, I do have a book I released called In the Shadows of the Forest. It is like a survival horror book, and it's available on Amazon now if you guys would like to go read it. But,
Definitely check it out.
Yeah.
I'm honored to say that I got to read the first or second draft, and I enjoyed the whole thing.
Yeah, he was there just about the whole way through the development there. And I think Doug, actually, you guys all got early drafts, like just like draft 2 and stuff. But
All right.
Well, Hooligan Media is more than just podcasts and dick jokes while throwing out slurs. We also have people that write words.
And we'll have more coming soon. But for now, we're just this is what we're starting with, and
Yeah, so thank you for coming hanging with us. This was Hanging with the Hooligans. I'm Doug.
I'm Alex. This is Chud. I mean,
Chuck,
The Chudmeister. I'm James.
If that sticks.
And thank you guys so much for coming and hanging with us.